presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Hey, Robert, how you doing, man?
Yes, and thank you for taking my call. I wanted to let you know that I've been a subscriber for a couple of years, just different members of your team, and I really enjoy it. But really the reason I'm calling is to express my sincerest gratitude for you providing that information yesterday on the small business grant. I'm a small business owner and primary breadwinner for my family, and if I can get that money, it's going to really mean a lot to my family. So
that's awesome.
Thank you for taking the time to do that.
No, well, listen, man, we appreciate you growling and prowling with us.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
What's going on, everybody? This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. I hope you all had a fantastic day. Again, happy Valentine's Day. Again, if you're writing a little card for your sweetheart, William Wordsworth, guys, you got to read it. It's a surefire way to do some stuff. Looking at some stuff right now in the YouTube chat, in the den as well. We're going to talk about some of the equities people have brought up. X, that is very interesting what you said. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, first, welcome. Please consider giving this stream a like, as it helps us out a lot, gets us some exposure. Of course, if you're just watching for this hour, strongly recommend checking out Tommy O'Brien at 9 a.m. Of course, we have Basil afterwards, Steve Rhodes, and everyone knows Larry, of course. Let's take a look right now. We got going on with the SPY, trading up about 0.03% at 609.93. The composite trading about 0.27% at 20,000, cracking that 20,000 mark. Love to see it for the day. Dow Jones Industrial off about 0.31% at 44,574, with those Russell futures completely flat as it stands right now. Dollar coming off a little bit, okay? We're at 106.75. You got crude oil trading down about 0.93% at 70.63. And let's see, man. Gold's cracking just a little bit. Big bar to the downside on some pretty good volume, and we're not even closed yet. So you're off about 1.71% at 2,895. You have copper coming down as well. That has, of course, been one of the strongest metals, if not the strongest recently that we look at. You're off about 2.63% at $4.65. You know, I think really the theory and logic with copper is that you need these components, right, to just really build out these major data centers. Of course, that's not necessary when you use photonics, but we're not doing that yet, although I believe we will at some point in the future. You have, and we'll talk about that a little bit as well, because you have OpenAI, and this, I think we're starting to see some issues, or confirmation rather, of our thesis with NVIDIA, which is the GPUs are great, NVIDIA will still be a player, but we're going to be moving away from GPUs being the dominant chips, right? We can look at maybe how that composition, might manifest if there's, decent amount of GPUs operating, right? And then you use a few very specialized chips to really control the thing. But in a way, I almost feel like CPUs would be better to have large matrices of with those specialized chips. We'll talk about that, of course. Let's see right now. We got silver up about 0.07% at 32.75. Mike, I hope you are long right now. Let me get a GIF in the den if you are. Let's see right now. Celsius off about 0.62%, 22.52. JPM, yeah, Jamie, he had a phone call with Jamie Dimon and his employees get leaked, and he is beside himself with people demanding that they do work from home. You know, I'm weird on work from home in the sense that, like, at some points it maybe helps if you're doing, maybe you got to knock some stuff out or whatever in the morning or whatever it might be. But I mean, and this is coming from someone who's in Gen Z, and this is probably an unpopular opinion with a lot of people my age. But when we were working in the office, you have Bestford, you had Tom in there. You could sit there and obviously, you'd get your work done, but this idea of the conversation flow, right? And Jamie Dimon really focuses on that word creativity. When you speak about it, you might say, like, okay, I mean, they're a bank, like what creativity is needed. And I actually think having creativity in finance, especially guys like these who make the markets and everything, is extremely important. I mean, it's really, really important, right? If you have a creative portfolio you can get pretty freaky with it, and I like that a lot. So it's interesting. You have Disney up about 0.64% at 110.29. Lucid, man, I was anticipating kind of a knockdown from there. I think people are enjoying it, So, I mean, seeing this, right, expanding into Canada, I still think Chinese EVs are really going to dominate in a major way. I like the idea right now of adding Chinese equity, right? I mean, Baba, Baidu, Tencent, all these kind of things. This is a massive consumer base. I know there is that limitation that exists, right? They have a maybe not super open society. There's a lot of planning that goes on in it. There is some moderate liberalization on how consumers operate. They have a very large middle class. Of course, they are having a deflationary period, still growing, but deflating. But it's kind of to be expected a little bit, right? When the point of rapid inflation like that in these kind of economies is because you're going to get a middle class from that, right? And it changes, right? And it pivots. And these guys have more money now to buy. And listen, I know I can already see the comments, right? And it's like, well, actually, a lot of the young people don't have money, and there's issues with the government, and it's not super clear. And their economy is kind of shaky. America's is too. I mean, it really is, right? And so, I've been speaking with some people that like this Chinese play. I mean, you're looking at Bob. I mean, we were even talking about it, right? I mean, we're looking at actually Bob X for a while, which is the Granite Shares Daily ETF. I mean, you can't argue with that move, right? I mean, we were looking at this right in the beginning of January, like it might make sense to pivot a little bit, right? And get some more exposure in China. And of course, the risk is always there that they say, hey, we're actually going to go hermit mode, are done. But there's also a movement that these guys have where they're trying to get a little bit more ingrained in the global realm, right? Like they're starting traditionally what China had always done, even with oh man, what was that admiral, like Zhang or something like that back in the 1300s, and that dynasty in that time period. They went out and they said, well, nobody has anything else to offer us, so we're going to close up. And China has, a history of being relatively isolated, and it seems like that concept is kind of changing, where they want influence around the world the same way that we do it. They want to do it through mercantilism. And, it's a massive consumer market where people are buying. I mean, I would argue, a lot of why gold continued to go up is because China was buying so much of it, right? So anyways, you're looking at Bob actually up 8.26% today. That means Bob is probably roughly like, 4% or something like that. And I like it. I mean, we were looking at Bob at $99. Yeah, we're at $124 right now. You would have done quite well. I think you're seeing some larger firms kind of see that too. People want exposure to this economy. And you saw them being a player. On that point, right? I mean, X was bringing up Merck to add into that portfolio. Interesting part, right? Of course, you're getting a downdraft because RFK won. But, one of the things that's happening, and we saw it with DeepSeek, although it's not the best you can get, they're, iterating this stuff. One of Merck's biggest oncology drugs is under threat from a Chinese cancer drug that's far cheaper and, as they say, almost more, has higher, I don't know. But that, folks, you stay right there. We'll be right back. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we return.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, X with the AMAT. Cool. Yeah, that's nice. Well, it's off 7.39% today. You have a lot of price targets. I haven't looked at the earnings on AMAT. I thought they had earnings this week, and I guess they did. So we take a look at that. You are right. I mean, that's a 19 PE. Right? I just don't know what they're growing at right now. It seems like there's like a slowdown in China or something. But what I want to say, you can see 400 million less in future sales to China. Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at their earnings report, and we can talk some more about that. But on the point of Merck, yes, 100% they're working for a weight loss drug, and when you get more industrialized middle class nations, you get obesity going up without a doubt. That is a major problem in China, especially among men. Of course, cancer will be huge there with all the smoking that they do. That, of course, is a big part of masculinity within China. But what I wanted to bring up with that, and so, okay, anyways, what you can see is, yeah, look at Merck, right? Trying to get in and get some exposure on there. But you had Summit Therapeutics. This is what I'm saying, right? Like, China's now starting to do some stuff, right? And, of course, you saw it with DeepSeek, although I think that was a little bit overblown because, again, these were just distilled. Regardless, you had Summit Therapeutics. They had licensed a drug from Chinese company Akeso Incorporated. They claim that this experimental cancer drug was more effective than Merck's Keytruda. Now, of course, black box issues, okay, But if true, I think this gives validity to the idea that China is starting, in some sense, to be able to stand on its own, right? I mean, this is the issue we were talking about with Nike a few years ago. Meaning, it's like, listen, their sales in Asia, and really China is such a dominant market, will absolutely come down, because when you get this middle class development and they expand a little bit more into the world and they can see like, hey, we affect influence elsewhere. I mean, this creates conditions for almost like a nationalization in a sense, right? And I know this is going into like maybe a little bit beyond investments or whatever, but I do think that this plays a role, at least in consumer behavior, And so this idea, it's like, hey, we've been in a bad situation. I mean, the 20th century was horrible for China, right? Even the 18th century. I mean, you think about like the war in we'll say Peking, since back then it was that, but Beijing, you had all these powers, European powers coming in and trying to fight for it, you know what I mean? And then of course you had the Opium Wars, which is they view as a massive national disgrace. it's important to really understand how different people groups look at the world. Not only just to, operate better within your world, but also when we're talking about like, hey, let's invest in some stuff. Let's see what's going on. You need these full profiles, And so, excuse me, I could see how something like Nike was going to get pretty much shot, and other consumer goods, American, that are trying to break into China or have been. Now, of course, this has been going on now for 2 years, right? But the only reason I was able to really kind of see something like that, and I think other people were able to see that, is because they understand that when you get middle class and you start exerting influence as a nation, you start having this nationalization of an identity. And they're going to want to buy more Chinese goods, and they do. They really do. There are products over there, fashion, electronics, whatever, that we do not have over here at all, okay? And they're going to start rapidly, within the next decade, looking to outsource to other people. Our whole theory with what we were trying to do in China, you get something called the Fisher effect, right, in economics. And the Fisher effect essentially is when you start trading with a richer country, you also become richer, right? So if this poor nation, you start developing trade ties, you will develop more wealth in that sense, right? And we could parse what wealth really means, but for the sake of it, just your economy gets a little bit better, or there's just higher GDP. And we were trying to do what we were trying to do with China, and this whole kind of foreign policy we had was almost like a cultural, socio-political Fisher effect, right? That if we started doing more trade with China, sending our manufacturing over there, put them kind of in charge of this kind of stuff. Of course, you had General Electric trying to do that just to cut costs with Jack Welch and everything. We could have a whole podcast on that. But it was to essentially try to liberalize them, and it didn't work, right? They've become more emboldened in their position and that they're right, and now they have such wealth and kind of reach that they can start trying to do what we did or attempted to do with them to other countries, right? So this is kind of interesting. Beyond that point, this is creating an entirely new, Rome, basically, right? As if America is Rome. And they're going to want to buy Chinese the same way we want to buy American, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They view us as a model, is what I'm trying to say. And they initially, anyways, they've done a good job, I think, recently. And this is not, of course, giving a pass on how their government works or anything like that. But their markets are massive, and they are starting to produce more and project influence. So, anyways, that's kind of my thing with Merrick. I think you're going to start seeing a lot of larger companies, American investment companies, try to get into China. You have so many people. Pharmaceuticals will be massive there, no doubt. Think of just consumer goods, and you invest in those companies over in China is kind of my thesis on this, So anyways, let's keep kind of going here a little bit. Let me see here. Yeah, I hear you there. Okay, I'm just reading some chats here. Seriously, guys, I really say, hop on to the YouTube if you want a little bit of a different experience. You can go to Discord here. I'm gonna type in TFNN.com. It is so, guys, it's so simple. It's the Tiger's Den trading room, okay? And listen, this is what I'll say. If you're already a subscriber, just let me know. We'll get you set up, okay? If you've not subscribed to any of our newsletters and everything, it's $1 a year, okay? You have step-by-step of how to do this. We have a big help section in case you want to turn off some noises or whatever it may be. But it's been fantastic. I mean, we're looking at like what Dude said in, screen name Dude said in the Tiger chat. I mean, you have the new Vanguard ultra short Treasury ETF and 3-month Treasury bill ETF, V-bill. I mean, you're getting a lot of big banks right now trying to get into short-dated bonds, And so this is a really good way to get exposure, especially for the young guys out there. Like, I know there's a lot of you guys listening who are roughly around my age, a little bit older. We don't think about bonds, but we really need to start, and really the whole market is determined on how these bonds work. So anyways, I really recommend doing that. And then, additionally, we had, if you're in there, I would say at the same time, you check out Live Trading Fridays with Larry Pesavento. He was in there today. We do that from 9 to noon Eastern time. That is the second and fourth Friday of every month. Okay, so the next one is going to be the 28th. If you buy it today, you'll be able to go to the 28th, and you'll be able to go to the March 14th one as well. Strongly recommend checking this out. It is great. Again, I think it's a nice group of people. You get to interact with Larry. Of course, I'm there the entire time, so if you have a message and he's not hearing it or something like that, we can be able to interject. And we want you guys to ask questions, and we want you to trade along with us. So check out both those products. But the Discord, I think, is such a massive value add to the trading day. I mean, it really is. And it's for $1 a year, and we only do that just so we can keep everyone safe. So check it out. Folks, I'll read that, Dan. Folks, stay right there. We'll be right back right after this break.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, reversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs, trade wars, analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento over the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The events for this month are February 14th and 21st, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. Let's talk a little bit right now. I'm trying to pull up Edgar. We're going to look at NVIDIA's 13F. Okay. Give me 1 second here. Is this it? Yeah, I think so. Oh, come on now. You've got to figure out these government websites. I don't know why it is not pulling up right now, but essentially, showing them what they kind of had. Let me see if I can actually pull this up over here. Yeah, okay, I see. So, wow, yeah, these are the positions. I mean, this stuff sent some of these equities pretty high here. Okay, I have it up right here now. Okay, let's pull it over. Man, I mean, this is like what knocked out this is what knocked out things like SoundHound today. I mean, let's take a look here. Just because of this NVIDIA filing is actually it's unbelievable. You're all 29.22% today. Okay, so let's say you had the holdings. Okay, you have Applied Digital. Let's not do that. You have ARM, which is huge. Let's just take a little gander at all these things that they have positions in. Yep. So you got Applied Digital Corp up 14.10%. This has been a little bit beleaguered, honestly. I like TSSI a little bit more. You have a higher PE, but at least you have a PE positive. That's up 9.98% today. And the market cap's only 380 million, but that was not explained in the 13F. You have ARM. So these are sponsored ADS. Applied Digital was common. You have ARM. Okay, that's off a little bit today, but that probably is from other factors going on. Nebius. Our boy Nebius. I mean, guys, what are we doing here? Up 5.68% today at $44. You have earnings next week. Now, this is getting to a little bit of a point where it's like, dang, we got in, I think I was able to DCA around $32 for the equity. If maybe not 31. I don't want to pull up my private account now, but you're trading up 5.65. We're at $44. This was the most beautiful time, right? And we spoke about that on the show when you had the DeepSeek crash. It had nothing to do with Nebius, and it wasn't going to affect them at all. And in fact, what we spoke about then is that they had just actually implemented Nebius onto their platform. They had just implemented DeepSeek onto their platforms. So this would have been a beautiful time to keep adding, and this is really where I got to DCA down quite a bit, which I'm happy about. You have a high today of 47.68, some decent volume. You're at 5.61%. You have Recursion Pharmaceuticals, not familiar with that, and then WeRide Incorporated. All these other ones that people are looking at, like Sound, completely just got knocked out. Let's see here. Serve Robotics, Nano. I mean, NVIDIA said they unloaded all of these. So that's pretty tough. Let's see if we can look at, okay, look at this, right? You're looking at WeRide. This is Chinese startup. Jesus. Up 81.88% today. Well, I would have to do a little bit more look to say into this, say like, hey, this might be solid. I mean, what a huge bump for this. Up 8.6. It's at $8.6 billion right now. I'm sure at some certain point there is a level of vendor financing interest that's going on with some of these things that they purchased. As far as Recursion Pharmaceuticals, does anyone know the ticker for that one? Let me just look this up real quick. I try to stay away from biotech personally. It's not my wheelhouse at all. But if you get into the den, we do have some people that's their wheelhouse. Let me see here. Okay, RXRX. Okay, thank you. Yep. Let's check that out as well. What do these guys make? This is up 24.47%. At $10. Good Lord. Okay. What are they making, a stroke drug? Anyways, you can see how insane. AI med device. Okay. Yeah, weren't we all looking at AIFF as well? They were doing a mapping of the human brain I think NVIDIA gave them a bump, so that's all for 41.79%. Yeah, I mean, I saw when that had 2 days up to that, I was almost like, man, like almost 3 days really. There was a part of me that was like, you can't even short it though, right? Or you can't even buy puts against it. I don't think they even have options on the thing. Anyways, that's off 41.2%. Kind of an interesting concept. I don't know. I think the idea what they're using, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Dan, with Firefly, is they're using AI to what? Map the human brain to see connections, right? And then perhaps, I think maybe sell that to pharmaceutical companies or make their own, if I remember that correctly. Interesting concept. Obviously, I feel like that's probably a little bit speculative for me, but when you get stocks like that, right? When you get equities like it, I mean, you go with if you've bought this at the low, right, and we're holding forever, I mean, you're still up an insane amount. So anyways, that's interesting. In the realm of tech, again, TSSI, I like it. The PE is a little bit nerve-wracking to me, I would say. I do hold this equity. My thought on TSSI is they are in the area that they're going to be building these data centers. Okay, I think they're really well exposed there. They have the market cap of 383 million. So what's going on with it, right, is you're just not getting any kind of analyst coverage. But that's how we did so well with Nebius. Now, of course, these PEs are a little bit different, and the balance sheet was a little bit different. But when you have these companies that are right at the heart of something and nobody's looking at them, I mean, that's where you start, you want to read that every night. You want to look into it. You want to just keep researching. And that's what I was doing with TSSI. I am in TSSI right now. We're up 11.03% right now from the beginning of the day. This is probably going to be on data center movements. And then, of course, it's a Dell partner, it seems like, as well. Dell getting, what is this? Like this $5 billion potential, right? Nears a $5 billion AI server deal with Elon Musk's XAI. So that's pretty solid. You're up 3.18% right now. Still kind of large. I like the pure plays for these things, which is why TSSI was interesting to me, but it's nice that they have that exposure as well. And I will say, as doomer as I've been on Tesla recently, which I still continue to be on Tesla. What are we off today? Wow, you actually recovered from earlier. You're at 355.93. Grok is pretty good. If you have a Twitter or you don't, I mean, you should probably make one and just check out Grok. I like it a lot more than ChatGPT, to be real with you. Folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. We're taking a look at, well, we weren't really taking a look at Reviva, but we were taking a look at Dell and TSSI as well. Yeah, long story short, it looks like Musk's going to pay him a bunch of money. TSSI is going to get some of that as well to build out their Memphis data server. Speaking in the realm of data centers, let's take a look at SMCI. Woo! Oh man, wow. Nice. The calls are printing right now. Love to see that. Again, we have a strike of 37 for February 28th. Please don't sell into me. Anyone listening out there. You're up 12.25% today. At 47.45, that is pretty good. Let's see here. Basically, long story short, what's going on is the reason you had some suppression on Tuesday, at least what I think on it, is that you had in those new convertibles that when it was time to convert, it was going to be a 50% premium on the price at the end of February, end of the day, February 11th, right? So I could see there was probably a level of suppression that was occurring on there, and that makes sense, right? I mean, it really does make sense. I'd probably do the same exact thing if I were buying those convertibles and I had enough shares to suppress it here. You're trading up 47.49. You have a deadline for February 25th. Now, I think there are maybe a lot of retail investors in this, but I also know that there are tons of institutional investors who are trying to get into this. Of course, you had a big pension fund at it, right? You had BlackRock at it, right? If they report fine, no, regardless, even though they kind of, let's say, reduce their targets for 2025, if they report these earnings, and again, that is a big if, and this is a risk that we're taking, right? Then this thing moves. This thing will close that gap, try to get up to 60, no doubt in my mind. And that is kind of what I'm banking on. I did not buy any hedge puts or, puts to hedge at all. If I were, I was going to probably click something like 32, just because I could see a really nice contraction, at least that day on it. Now, in reality, if they don't report, this stock will probably go just to, whatever, 17.25, lower it could, One of the things I was concerned about, the reason why I didn't do it, is I was seeing some price suppression, and let's just say they do release, they do report, but they have to revise back, right? That's a big issue, and you can get kind of stuck in an area where you're not making money on calls and you're not making money on puts, and I just didn't want to lose twice. I'm still giving it some thought. Of course, I have over the weekend. How far are we from 25th? We're still 2 weeks out, so there's plenty of time for this thing to do weird stuff. And the 25th will be the last weekend. Last week in February. That'll be on a Tuesday. All right, let's take a look a little bit more at some. Okay, we'll talk about RFK. I think I know you've had a quick little pump and dump on some of the weed stocks. That is something that might start up again, right? You've had some recent things come out with marijuana that at the levels of THC that are kind of inside the plant that they can cause neurological issues. So there was a big meta study, I think that was just released maybe like last month or something, looking at the rates of psychosis among young people and marijuana consumption. Now, again, I would probably argue that has to do with how high the THC is in it, but this causes problems, right? And it is definitely a blockage in the road to federal legalization, right? It seems like RFK in the past has been pro-federal legalization of pot, and if that occurs with him being in the position he's in now, well, I mean, you're going to see massive movement to the upside in a lot of pot equities. Let's see here if I can pull some up, because it's been so long since I looked at them, and I've disliked them for so long. Let me see here. Okay, let's just take Tilray, of course. But you do run the risk if it is really true. I mean, you're off 1.24% today. Again, I don't know. I don't like pot stocks. I never have. Obviously, you have a lot of stuff going on in Canada with it, which is a big problem. Let's take a look. We look at Crisco Labs. I have one guy that I know. He's been buying a ton of Tilray. And listen, I mean, if this does get legalized, these stocks will rally pretty heavily. Let's take a look at Crisco, off 2.08% today. Again, I don't think I have a really good bead on that kind of industry beyond I know there's a lot of weird kind of pumps and dumps into it, and that makes me want to stay away from it. Again, when legalization happens, it's super important. But I have a feeling as well with how big he is on physical health. This is RFK. And how big he is on speaking about mental health, which is really not something we speak about in this country, at least at a legislative level. And I think it's the root of a lot of our problems. I mean, the amount of people on SSRIs, and of course, never to shame anyone who is dealing with that kind of stuff. But it's just there's so many, and so I think we need to figure out what the heck is going on. And if people who are already kind of predisposed to having mental health issues, like people who have the genes for schizophrenia or some level of psychosis or mania even, right? Bipolar depression. I mean, high THC content marijuana, and these are studies, not me just riffing and I'm getting it from the ether or something. This can spur those kind of events, And so even if he's pro that, I mean, if we keep having these recent, if we keep having studies coming out that really show hey, I mean, the amount that we're smoking at the, percentage of THC is really bad. I mean, you can get even more regulation at some point, and it can also impede legalization. So that's kind of my point on that. It's interesting to see him win. I'm a big fan of banning food dyes personally, and he seems like he's really about that, which I think is super neat. Let's move back a little bit into some chip talk. We have Intel. So this is one that's a little bit interesting. And again, I think that we're doing, okay, you're off 2.2%, but I mean, you've rallied quite a bit over the past few days. This is, again, a move on rumors, okay? And I love moves on rumors, of course. I'm an SMCI. I'm not even just in SMCI, I have options for it. But there was I've fallen out of good graces with this, or this fallen out of good graces with me. I think its goodwill has gone away. They still don't have the CEO. The more I research kind of their board, the more I just don't like their vision or how they've been treating this company. They blew a massive lead, and they've lied to people pretty consistently, and they've under-delivered, right? What is it moving up on right now? Okay, so obviously you have rumors with TSMC, Trump mainly saying, hey, Taiwan stole our chip industry and we want it back. Well, okay. Intel is, of course, a nice little play for that. And then you also have this joint venture between Intel and TSMC, right? This is a rumor that the U.S. government is pushing that. Okay, I could totally see Trump saying, hey, we need to prop up this good old strong American company. But I will also say that if TSMC gets, you can't really do it right now because you would basically kneecap American tech if we tariff Taiwan. TSMC is building a chip manufacturing plant, right, in Arizona, and Intel and TSMC have already had a relationship, and Gelsinger blew it. He's gone, but I think there's some hot stuff there. Folks, right there. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. We just have a short segment here, and then I'm going to go to dinner. I'm going to get some wine. It's going to be very nice. Valentine's Day. Let's see. What do we want to talk about? How do we want to wrap this up? Oh, coin, man. What the heck? So, all right. In a knockout quarter. Okay. Knockout quarter, knockout guidance. I mean, take a look. Yeah, $1.61 estimated EPS there. You had a 468. What the heck, man? So what's going on? What it seems like is that the SEC is about to make some decision regarding what Coinbase sells, right? I mean, with these kind of earnings, I mean, this is pretty good, right? Now, of course, you have that Trump rally that's happening, but in my opinion, I mean, that's a nice movement to the upside for Trump rally. I think they're going to continue to be very dominant. I think more people than ever are going to continue to buy Bitcoin. I think, as far as the Trump rally goes, I saw this as an argument for why this might still be coming down and correcting for the Trump rally. I don't know. I think like things like Tesla is a totally great example of unnecessary Trump rally, even things like NVIDIA, actually, to a certain point. But coin, I mean, this is a material change in their business that they operate in, you know. But you're off 7.81%. I believe it's probably just going to be this SEC kind of decision, right? So I'm actually still in my CONL, C-O-N-L, and I'm going to hold for it. I know you don't always want to hold these leveraged ETFs that much, but I think we can really see some. I don't know if this is a good ruling, then the stock will rally back up. Pretty wild to me. GameStop too. I mean, we're about to end here, but yeah, this is going up on the idea that they're going to add Bitcoin to their sheet. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you Monday morning, 9 a.m. with Tommy O'Brien for the morning market kickoff. Take care.